it was too late. So he was just rushing it up.
Yeah.
Where even a character of the student says, "Mujhe to kuch samajh nahi aa raha." And I was like, yep.
I hope that the learnings of this then enable them to make a really kick-ass part 2. With of course, Ranveer and Deepika, which is...
Is that confirmed?
Hey everyone, you're watching The Late Take and I'm Anupama Chopra.
I'm Anmol Jamwal.
And we are going to talk about the movie of the year, Brahmastra.
Yes, I think we took The Late Take a little too literally. So there's hectic schedules, but we are late. I want to ask you, do you want to start with the underwhelming aspects of the film first or start with the good?
So I want to start, Anmol, actually by saying that I'm really happy people are in theatres. You know, for me, that's just so wonderful. No matter the issues I've had with it, I feel like Hindi cinema really needed a bona fide success that connected with people. And obviously, though the jury seems to be out on whether it'll make money or whether that 450 crore budget is too much, but you know, numbers are not my thing. I'm just saying people are in theatres. You know, you've seen it thrice. You said the house was packed. That excitement and that kind of sort of thrill for a Hindi movie is very heartening. It also tells you that all that toxic noise on social media does not translate to life, and if people want to come in and see a movie, they will come in and see a movie.
100%, ma'am.
Isn't that exciting?
Especially like I've forgotten how it felt to go on a Friday morning for a Hindi film where it was a packed theatre.
Exactly.
And especially on IMAX, and to just see a very college-going 18 to 25 demographic that was very interested in the topic. So that's like what the environment was.
Yeah.
So as I told you that I went for the press screening, but I really wanted to see how it is with the people, and I think I definitely prefer the latter.
With the people, of course.
They were there for the film, and I felt that there were a lot of things that worked for me and a lot of things that didn't work for me.
Same.
So I want to first start off with something that really I loved, which was the background score of the film.
You know, Preetham it was too dialed up. I found it was too loud, but he inserted emotions that were not in the movie.
100%. I'm telling you, ma'am, you know, this concept of what people consider to be like, I won't say jarring, uncomfortable to the ears, where it's regarding KGF, you know, where every single scene is amped up for a mass moment.
Yeah.
I think it worked for several of the moments over here, especially like say the interval block over here, or say moments with Shah Rukh, who absolutely killed it, by the way.
We have to talk about that.
Yes. Many cases that are being now, or theories being created about how there can be a spin-off of this character in itself.
But Mohan Bhargava, I would love that. I would love it.
I do feel like it enhanced the sequences, especially when there were so many moments where I felt from the screenplay point of view, where it reached a crescendo and then such a lull period started for the next 30 minutes. So say for the climax battle, I felt like the Shiva background score really enhanced the entire thing.
Yeah.
I can't say the same for the writing though.
See, to me, that is the mystery. Because when you spend the amount of time Ayan has spent on this film, why won't you work harder on the script? You know, it's a great idea. I love the ambition of it. I love the other great strength is, of course, the visual effects, which are spectacular. I mean, we've never seen anything like this in a Hindi film, and despite the 5 cinematographers, it doesn't wobble. It's very much on point, and it just goes like bigger, bigger, bigger. But until you have that foundation, you know, the spectacle isn't rooted in anything that emotionally moves you. So for me, that was the problem, that I wasn't emotionally invested in these characters.
I think that's what like the school of thought with S.S. Rajamouli is, right? No matter what the scale, no matter what the vision, if you're not emotionally invested in the characters, then all of that minutiae will not really lead to a audience loving the film.
Yeah.
And I feel like if your core was the love story, so I have many theories about this. We'll keep the theories away because a lot of people are trying to understand or create theories on why Isha is connecting to Shiva so abruptly? Why is she so keen on
So
going on
without
this journey?
explanation, yeah.
So without explanation.
Yeah.
A lot of it is based on the assumption of fans especially that she's been propped up over there, say for a particular goal in the long haul.
Okay.
But for me to be invested in, say, part 2, I need a hint of that.
Right.
I need a hint of why she's so keen on going on this journey and why she's so unfazed by all these fantastical elements.
Yeah.
And just from a rudimentary standpoint, I feel like if you're making me connect with the concept of love at first sight, that the dialogues between them have to in some way make me feel an emotional depth or connection between them.
Yeah.
And I felt like they were rambling about the world and light and roshni and andhera. And
So Anmol, I think that the real soft spot in the film is the dialogue by Hussain Dalal. I think those lines, and I get it, it's very hard because they start off with the sort of explanation of Prachin Kal and the sages and the Brahmastra and the various astras. And then you have to also make it cool.
Yeah.
And you have to make it contemporary, which is perhaps why he's a DJ. And they're all so cool despite him being very sort of lower middle class.
Yeah.
But then the lines of like, ईशा मेरा बटन है और चलाने वाले को ऑन करना पड़ता. I mean, it's just it's pedestrian.
Even when, say, Shah Rukh's character is introduced and when he's like, tu genda hai, tu hathi hai, I was like, okay, is the motive, the demographic that we want to connect with is extremely young, the pre-teen demographic probably,
Sure.
or is it that we need to dumb it down so much that everyone gets it?
Yeah.
I feel like to a point, it seemed almost condescending to me on the way they were explaining concepts.
Yeah.
And Guru ho gaya shuru and the concepts of even say what I felt was, especially with Amitabh Bachchan's character, the amount of exposition he was doing.
Absolutely. He was just there to explain.
And to the point of it was too late. So he was just rushing it up.
Yeah.
Where even a character of the student says, "Mujhe to kuch samajh nahi aa raha." And I was like, yep.
No, and there's another scene in which I think one character says ki, how do you know this? Tumhe kaise pata? Bas pata hai. So even within its own logic, it's not a consistent, the rules aren't consistent.
Because Amitabh Bachchan, even in the case of being near the bonfire, is like, mujhe nahi pata tumhari maa ko kya hua hai. And then next scene, he's explaining the entire origin story. So I'm like, why are you stalling so much? Let the poor guy, tell him what the thing is.
Yeah, I feel if they had, it had all the potential to be that first Avengers film or that first Iron Man film for us.
Yeah.
For homegrown, desi, multiverse and all the rest of it. But I just feel like the writing is just too weak to hold up something which is so enormous.
And ma'am, I think it leaves it gives credit too much to, say, an audience like us who are invested in, say, the theories and the plot in creating our own assumptions of what they might be. So who is Junoon?
Right.
Why is she under the spell of Dev?
Yeah.
Who is Isha? She's from London. Her family, no one cares about where she's going.
Correct.
So
no, there are no backstories for anyone except for Ranbir and the mom. But even there, Anmol, one of the most interesting things to me was the idea that he's afraid also of fire, even though it doesn't hurt him, because he thinks he can damage people with it. And that idea, which is so intriguing, is not explored at all.
Not at all. And I felt like that dichotomy was very interesting.
Absolutely.
And what I felt, ma'am, was that, say, even for a character like Alia, Isha, for me to be invested or even slightly interested on why she's so keen, I constantly was hoping that she has more stake in the matter.
Right.
That there's some connection eventually where there's going to be a payoff. So I ended the film with the conclusion that she just fell in love with this guy.
Right.
But
which is what they've led us to believe.
Yeah. So now if I go through several theories, I can come up with my own take of where she's from and who she is.
Right.
And poor Dimple Kapadia, ma'am, just with
flying the helicopter.
See you later every time. It's like, okay.
I hope that there is a part 2. And
I do hope so.
And that because there must be such enormous learnings from this. and Ayan is a very, very smart guy. So is, of course, Karan. And I hope that the learnings of this then enable them to make a really kick-ass part 2 with, of course, Ranveer and Deepika, which is...
Is that confirmed? Is this insider news
It is
right now?
insider news.
So you got it first. Okay. So it's confirmed. Wow.
Look...
It seems like no. I definitely saw a glimpse of Deepika in that backstory.
Correct, with the baby. Yes.
It looked like Ranbir without a shirt.
Exactly.
So
we've seen that pose.
Yeah. So let's go with that.
Let's go with that. I'm just saying, like, I wish they had given us a glimpse.
Oh my God, ma'am! I can't even tell you on how my review turned into what I wanted eventually, because I was like, you've given me the most beautiful shots of both of them.
Yeah.
If you even showed me a slight glimpse of their face, the audience would have erupted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I felt like that was a missed opportunity,
It
even
is.
in the climax, in the conclusion to do Dev Part 2. Give me a evil smiling like Ranveer Singh, people would have lost it.
Yeah, I agree. I think there was, but who knows? Maybe the contracts aren't dry yet. Who knows what the behind the scenes information is? But I think definitely they could have built it up. But genuinely, I feel like, and I said this in my review, that will I be in line for part 2? Completely.
100%.
100%.
Yes,
I really want them to kind of just flesh it out a little more, have characters which have more depth. For me, Moni as that villain just didn't work because like you said, there was no backstory. There was no sense of why she's doing what she's doing. And she's not even the character, not her as an actor, but the character doesn't even have very interesting personality traits. Mm-hmm. She's just there doing the one thing, and those two men behind her are just attacking and shouting and attacking and shouting, and that's all they do.
For me, ma'am, I'll tell you that just to defend, say, whatever Moni got, those two sidekicks, I didn't connect with her at all.
Yeah.
They were just shouting or running.
Yeah.
But I felt like the movie only got interesting when Moni came into the picture. Because for me, Isha and Shiva didn't really work for me whenever they were interacting with each other.
The love story was not.
Even the moment of confessing I love you was so abrupt and out of nowhere for me that even that magical notion of कि प्यार हो जाता है, that वो भी धक नहीं हुआ मेरे लिए.
Yeah.
So for me, whenever Moni was coming in, they were like bang into action. Let's go again. Let's protect people. Nagarjuna comes into the picture.
Fab.
He was fabulous.
Oh my God, what charisma does he have?
He had the best action set pieces also. It was great.
He did, and of course so did Shah Rukh.
Oh yes. What an intro.
What an intro. And that opening piece is just superb. And I don't think they matched the high note of that through the film.
I was just like, again, the review turned into, what if this happened? I was like, imagine if Shah Rukh came in the end.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You go in such a high, and then you have Dance Ka Bhoot, which sort of lulls it down.
Yeah.
Sariya, for me in the screenplay, just turned out to be a music video.
Yeah.
They're going to Varanasi to save Nagarjuna.
Correct.
And now they're just like,
they're just singing.
Sariya.
Yeah.
And I loved the music
The song
as the
is so beautiful.
marketing tool before the movie release, but it just didn't fit in the screenplay really well.
Yeah. So I feel like if they are going to spend many years, and I hope they don't. I hope part 2 comes sooner. Yeah. But at least a greater chunk of it needs to be spent on the writing rather than the VFX.
100%. I agree. 100%. I just felt, even in the end, for that Rasya, beautiful song again to play, and for that union to happen, and for him to be like, Jaan bachane to aaya hu, I should have felt it like a teardrop or anything. And ma'am, I am the best audience for a Bollywood movie. I will cry on the easiest of scenes.
I have no resistance at all. Matlab, kuch bhi bolo, I'm like weeping. Yeah. It didn't happen. Yeah. So hopefully next time.
Hopefully the visuals and the writing both are like a great marriage.
Correct. Yes. Should we take comments?
Yeah.
This one's for you.
Okay. So this is Abhishek Sharma. He says, Isha could have the key to the power of Shiva. There could be an eternal relationship between both of them. Isha could also be some kind of astra. They could explore mother-son relationship as the emotional core of the movie. They could have explored Brahmastra more. Oh God, so much potential. Left my heart half filled. I mean, that's very brilliantly, ma'am, you brought up about the dichotomy. If that was the source of his power, the bond that he had with his mother,
Right.
that probably could have resonated more because it's deeper than just love.
Yeah.
But I do agree that I wasn't absolutely like fulfilled and like raving about the film. That's what I wanted.
That's what I wanted so badly.
Yeah.
I went in really wanting to cheer and just sort of, have the best time possible. And yeah, when that doesn't happen, I think the hurt is a little more.
A little more. 100%. 100%.
Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this. Beoyrt. Beort?
Let's go with that.
Okay, Beort says, instead of making Isha a button, they could have made her another part of the Astra, half Isha, half Shiva. Okay, so that whenever Isha and Shiva are together, they can be Agni Astra together. Okay,
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Because Shiva's thing started when he first saw Isha in the Sera. All right, nice. What I like is that at least it's sparked off so much conversation.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, when was the last time people were this interested in a Hindi film and talking so much? And even like you're saying, ki you started to talk about what it could have been. But even that, how often does that happen?
Doesn't happen that often.
It doesn't happen.
It's probably only happened with RRR recently with me.
Right.
But with this, the theories are insane.
Really?
Like to the point of you remember the climax sequence where Ranbir is protecting Alia.
Right.
There's a theory that Isha does have powers, and when she touches his chest,
That's
she
what happened.
actually assisted him in,
Button on ho gaya.
button on ho gaya. So the kind of theories are crazy because her origin story is still a mystery. She's from London. She hides
Rich
that
girl from London, that's it.
but she hides that passport in case Arya's start.
Huh.
Nobody really knows. What I felt was when that Brahmansh shot was there and Ranbir comes in his kurta to see, she's standing over there. I was like, she could have easily just been a part of that.
That's right. That's right.
That also.
Why did they send her to pick up the...
Oh my God, ma'am, I have to say, I
what
don't
was
want
that?
I don't want to like, bash the film just for it because I love aspects of it. But
Right.
the most unintentionally funny scene was immediately after the attack, they're like, hello? Yeah, sab ठीक. All good. I'm like...
And she was holding her arm like this and she was saying, sab theek hai.
So people are saying she has regenerative powers, healing powers.
Okay.
So all of these are mad.
Okay, so it'll all be explained in part 2.
I hope so. Imagine if she's the same Shiva girl then.
Then we're in trouble. But we are optimists.
Yeah.
Okay, another comment
yeah.
is my drawled. Wow.
Okay, these
No,
names
this is
are-
for you.
Okay, yeah. My drawl says Brahmastra had so much stuff that it could have focused on, but they decided to focus on that one thing which literally is available in thousands of other Bollywood films. If RRR had focused on romance rather than the action-filled spectacle it promises, believe me, it wouldn't be half as big as a hit as it originally was. I mean, these are hypotheticals again, but I
Right,
feel like the core of it is that if you have two principal characters, I feel like RRR strictly focused on their individual plot lines and how they cross paths with one another. I feel like if the motive of Brahmastra was Shiva and the source of energy in the Astraverse, it would have been better than the core being love.
Love, yeah.
Though
Though that love thing, Anmol, is also very similar to Harry Potter.
it is Harry Potter.
It is Harry Potter. It's the whole idea that love conquers all. Finally.
He's the Horcrux.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that.
Exactly. So that was my other bit of a problem with it, that it's so derivative.
It is.
Of course it's homegrown and of course he's basing and rooting all of this here, but it just feels like,
The parallels are there.
like a magpie, it's picked from many
100%.
sources, So I'm hoping part 2, he'll really let the imagination go and create something truly original.
And the setup's great.
Yeah. The
So
setup is great.
The hype will be there.
And again, of course, the whole idea that Shiva is Dev's son and Dev's the bad guy is fully Darth Vader and Luke
100%.
Skywalker, but
Yeah.
still.
The themes from Star Wars and Harry Potter were as clear as day.
Yeah,
So no one's
yeah.
going to debate that at all.
Okay, then I have Nayan Moni Baishya. Sorry if I've mispronounced the name. Can we have a spin-off of SRK Nagarjuna? I would love that. Okay.
I was waiting for them to return because they didn't show their dead bodies.
Indeed.
So I was like, why not just get
Though
them
poor
to come?
Nagarjuna did get shot a lot.
Yeah, that's also true.
But Shah Rukh just went off the balcony, so anything is possible.
Hypotheticals. I was like, what if in the climax they just came, they just widened the shot, and both of them were there?
Right. How amazing would that be? How amazing would that be?
Yeah, review ही करो अनमोल. ये सब.
Yeah, people will be like, अब तुम क्यों नहीं picture बना लेते?
Picture बनाओ. No, I'll stick to this. Yeah.
So, Anmol, what are you looking forward to? How are you feeling about Chup?
I am very intrigued, ma'am. That is a combination of actors I never foreshadowed would
Me
ever
neither.
be a reality.
Dulquer, Salman and Sunny Deol in the same frame.
And they're doing interviews together, and I'm like, whoa,
Right.
this is like a trip.
Right, yeah.
But I'm very interested on and Raja Sen. I've loved his reviews ever since
Yeah,
I
he's a
started
very
reading
good
reviews.
writer. Yeah.
So I'm very interested on how it turns up. And what do you think?
I have to say, I'm a little concerned about what it's suggesting. Because the idea that if you get a bad review, go kill the critic is, I know it's a movie and I know there's lots of violence in movies, but maybe, Anmol, because I have got death threats on social media, right? I know how toxic it is. For me, the idea that you're putting out there that this is somehow okay, maybe it's not, maybe the movie will, will remove that.
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued to see how they would play it out. Though I have to wonder, why are they giving film critics so much importance?
And I never understood it anyway.
Yeah.
In the sense of,
do you think anyone
chota
cares
muh
about
badi
this?
baat, but like the impact in itself to be as if like it accounts or results in such mass hysteria is, I think,
They're giving us too much credit.
crazy.
है ना?
So for
इतना
me,
influence तो नहीं है हमारे पास.
for me to see even the fact that I never did star reviews when I started,
That's
say
right.
in 2016, 17, and I remember when you stopped also.
Correct.
So I was like, I'm glad I never did it. I'm safe.
चलो हम दोनों safe हैं. औरों का पता नहीं.
Oh God, the stars come on Twitter and suddenly now you're going to say, are you really going to review Chup and give 3 stars, 2 stars? You better be careful.
Yeah. Well,
No, but you are a little like apprehensive about it.
I'm just a little concerned about what it suggests.
That makes sense.
And maybe because it's something I personally experienced.
Okay.
Obviously not somebody attacking me, but on social media,
Yeah.
there has been plenty of toxicity and attacking. So I'm just a little concerned about that. But let's see what Balki does with it. Even when I don't fully sort of get into Balki's films, he never makes boring films. There's always
I love his
something, that he's doing or trying to do. He's going out on a limb in some way, which is always intriguing to see.
And I feel like Dulquer always says yes to very interesting scripts, and they might be rather eccentric also sometimes, but there's always something unique.
Yeah. So looking forward, and then of course there's PS1 and Vikram Vedha. So we've got exciting stuff.
Is even Avatar 2 coming?
I think later.
Later. But
Later.
I have to say, ma'am, this weekend, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is coming out.
Is releasing.
So I'm very excited for
very
that.
excited to see that. And so is Gautam Menon's film.
Yes,
Which-
with STR.
Yes, with STR, which should be very exciting. I'm very excited to see that. So we have happy days ahead of us.
Happy days ahead, busy as usual, and we love that as well.
We'll reconvene, and thank you everyone for watching.